At the end of The Phantom Menace, during Qui-Gon Jinn's funeral, we hear Master Yoda say, "Always two there are. No more, no less." Mace Windu then goes on to say, "But which was destroyed, the Master or the Apprentice?" And of course they are referring to Darth Maul, after Obi-Wan had thought to have killed him, as we all did before he made his appearance in the Clone Wars animated series. But this is the first instance that we hear of this rule of two. And of course we see the rule two in the original trilogy with Sidious and Vader, however, we didn't really have the knowledge that that was a set rule. And if you watch the prequels without the knowledge of this rule, you may wonder why the Sith don't number in the thousands like the Jedi. And this is because of the rule of two. This rule is that the Sith can only survive in pairs of two. But why is this? Where did this rule come from? Who made it? Why does it exist? All of this will be answered today on Holocron Hub. But before I dive too deep into this video, I actually need to say that some parts of this video will be taken from canon and some parts will be taken from Legends. Now, it is canon that the rule of two was created by Darth Bane. If you watch season 6 of the Clone Wars, Yoda meets Darth Bane's ghost and he recognizes who he is and that he was the one who created this rule of two. Now, as for why he did so, we have to go to Legends. However, since Darth Bane is canon, I think it's safe to assume that we can look at Darth Bane's story and why he created the rule of two as canon as well. And so in order to explain the rule of two, I have to explain Darth Bane. So first of all, who is Darth Bane? Well, Darth Bane was born in 1026 BBY, which, if you're unfamiliar, is the Battle of Yavin from A New Hope, so 1026 years before A New Hope. He grew up at a poor mining town and had an abusive father on the planet of Apprentice in the Outer Rim. And one day he killed an ensign, which is a Galactic Republic officer, a very, very low-level officer, but anyway, he killed him and had to escape off-world. Once he escaped, he joined the Sith Brotherhood of Darkness. There he served as a foot soldier, however, his sensitivity to the Force was recognized. They noticed how he had extremely quick reflexes and knew that some things were going to happen before they happened. And so, recognizing his sensitivity to the Force, they sent him to the Sith Academy on Korriban, where he quickly became one of the best students at the Academy. But while Bane was at the Academy, he began to see flaws in how the Brotherhood of Darkness and how the Sith were structured. He realized that the Sith's desire for more power and greed would always lead to their destruction. If you have thousands of Sith who are willing to kill in order to reach the top, you end up losing a lot of Sith who are very powerful. And with all this infighting, it was very hard for them to defeat the Jedi. So Bane was upset with how this system worked. He would then leave the Sith Academy on Korriban and went to Lehon. And when he arrived there, he found a Sith temple and found the holocron of Darth Revan. And with the knowledge that he obtained from Darth Revan's holocron, he decided that he was going to destroy the Brotherhood of Darkness and create his own Sith order. And with this new Sith order, he would create a system to where there would be no infighting between thousands of Sith, but an order based on the rule of two. And in his words, two there should be, no more, no less. One to embody the power and one to crave it. Now, as for how he destroyed the Brotherhood of Darkness and started a new Sith order from scratch, that's going to be a topic for another video, so let me know down below whether or not you're interested in how that happened. But anyways, what was great about this rule of two was that under this rule, it was so much easier for the Sith to operate. It made it easier for the Sith to take their time and plot their revenge against the Jedi, because the Jedi believed that the Sith were extinct. And they were, except for Darth Bane and his apprentice. So by just having two of them, there would be no attention drawn to them, and they could operate in the shadows without the fear of the Jedi hunting them. They could operate without constantly having to look over their shoulders. And while the dynamic of the Sith killing each other in order to gain more power and respect does not work when it's being done among hundreds or thousands of Sith, it actually works very well whenever you have this rule of two put in place. Now, in the rule of two, the apprentice is expected to one day kill their master. This is to ensure that the Sith are always going to grow stronger and stronger. The apprentice is expected to learn from the master, increase their knowledge of the Force, as well as increase their combat skills until the day comes where the apprentice will challenge their master. Now, if the apprentice fails to kill the master, then the apprentice was not worthy of taking their position. And so if they didn't have this system, if they had a system where the apprentice would become a master by hitting a specific milestone or just waiting for their master to die of natural causes, then this would ensure that the Sith Order would become stronger and stronger throughout the years. So if an apprentice just inherited the role by not killing their master, then the Order would over time become weaker, not stronger. So if the apprentice challenges the master and loses, then the master would just have to find a new apprentice, because if the apprentice is not strong enough to kill the master, then they don't deserve that title. However, if the apprentice did kill the master, then they had earned that title as master. And since the apprentice had killed the master, they were stronger, making the Sith stronger. So with each generation of master and apprentice, the Sith would constantly be growing in their power. And so this rule of two was followed for hundreds of years. It is how they were able to stay hidden for so long, because if you remember, Darth Maul was the first Sith the Jedi had seen in over 1,000 years, and this rule was absolute. We can see in the Clone Wars that Darth Sidious finds that Maul is alive and that he has an apprentice and immediately tries to kill him because he is a rival, because there can only be two. Sidious then goes on to kill Maul's apprentice and brother, Savage Opress, and after, Sidious tells Maul that he had been replaced because obviously Count Dooku at this time is Sidious's current apprentice. However, Sidious does not kill Maul because he had other uses for him. He wanted to use Maul in order to draw Mother Talzin into the open so that she could be defeated. However, this plan was never really revealed to Maul. So when it comes to the rule of two, while it doesn't give the Sith the ability to create a large grand army to defeat the Jedi, it is able to keep them hidden and is a way for them to constantly grow in their power over the centuries. And of course, it gives them plenty of time to plot. Slow and steady wins the race, and the rule of two kept the Sith hidden for long enough for Palpatine to put his grand plan into motion and wipe out most of the Jedi. And so that's it. That is the rule of two. That's where it came from, why it was created, and why it was so effective. Let me know what you think down below, and let me know whether or not you're interested in more information on Darth Bane and his story. He's always been one of my favorite Sith, and I would kind of like to cover him more. But anyways, thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. If you really enjoyed the video, give it a like, because that helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And if you really enjoy Star Wars, which I assume you do because you're here watching this video, so consider subscribing for more content like this. Of course, this is a new channel that I'm hoping to grow, so any support really helps. But again, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I'll see you next time on Holocron Hub.